Hi, hello everyone! I'm Toshi from Japan and tourist guide for foreigners. In this video, I'll show you 10 things you must know before riding the Shinkansen in 2026.
If you're traveling around Japan, you'll probably ride the bullet train. But many travelers waste money, choose the wrong ticket, or even miss their train. After guiding more than 300 visitors, I've seen these mistakes again and again. In this video, I'll show you how to avoid them. Plus, I also offer guided tours in Japan, travel itineraries based on trip duration and area, and recommendations for unique cultural experiences.
You can find more information in the description below. So, let's get started.
Number 1 is few Shinkansen stations. One thing that surprises many travelers is how few Shinkansen stations there actually are. Unlike regular trains, the Shinkansen runs on dedicated high-speed tracks. These tracks are wider, and each station needs a special platform built just for these trains. That's why the number of stations is limited. For example, in Tokyo, there are only 3 Shinkansen stations. In Kyoto, just 1. And in Osaka, only 1 as well. On the Tokaido Shinkansen, the line connecting Tokyo, Kyoto, and Osaka, the main stations are Tokyo Station, and Shinagawa Station, Kyoto Station, and Shin-Osaka Station. If you're heading north to places like Tohoku or Hokkaido, your main departure stations will be Tokyo or Ueno. If it's your first time traveling in Japan, I highly recommend going to Tokyo Station.
It's a main hub for multiple Shinkansen lines, so you won't end up at the wrong station.
Number 2 is Shinkansen lines. Japan's Shinkansen system can feel confusing at first because it's operated by different railway companies depending on the region. In the north, the Hokkaido Shinkansen is run by JR Hokkaido. From Aomori down to Tokyo, you have the Tohoku Shinkansen, Akita Shinkansen, and Yamagata Shinkansen, operated by JR East. The Hokuriku Shinkansen, also run by JR East, connects Tokyo to areas like Nagano and Kanazawa, and now extends toward Suruga. Between Tokyo and Osaka, you'll use the Tokaido Shinkansen, operated by JR Central. This is the busiest and most popular line for international travelers. From Osaka through Hiroshima to Fukuoka, that's the Sanyo Shinkansen, run by JR West. And in Kyushu, the Kyushu Shinkansen is operated by JR Kyushu. This matters because major stations like Tokyo serve multiple Shinkansen lines at the same time. So depending on your destination, you may need a completely different train.
Always check your route carefully and choose the right Shinkansen for your destination.
Number 3 is luggage rule. Did you know there are rules for bringing luggage on Japan's Shinkansen? Each passenger can bring up to 2 suitcases, as long as each one is within 250 centimeters in total dimensions and under 30 kilogram in weight. If your suitcase is oversized, over 160 centimeters in total size, you'll need to reserve a special oversized luggage seat in advance. If you don't, you may be charged a fee of around 1,000 yen, and in most cases, you cannot bring it into regular unreserved seats. These rules are updated from time to time, and I'll explain the latest details in the next chapter. For normal-sized luggage, you'll usually place your suitcase in the overhead rack above your seat. It may look a little high, but the design includes a tilt to help prevent it from falling. That said, lifting heavy suitcases can be difficult.
So it's a good idea to distribute weight evenly inside your luggage before traveling.
Number 4 is oversized luggage. As I mentioned in the previous chapter, if your suitcase is oversized, over 160 centimeters in total dimensions, you normally need to reserve a seat with oversized luggage space in advance. If you don't, you may be charged around 1,000 yen, and in most cases, you can't bring it into unreserved seats. However, starting July 1st, 2025, some Shinkansen trains introduced oversized luggage areas located in the train's deck space. These can be used without advance reservation. But availability is very limited, so if you're traveling with large luggage, it's still strongly recommended to book a seat with dedicated luggage space. Because of this, many travelers choose different options. Some use luggage delivery services so they can travel hands-free and go straight to sightseeing after arrival. Others prefer to store their bags at hotels or use coin lockers, especially when moving between cities or returning to their departure point later.
Large luggage can easily become a burden during travel, so planning ahead makes a big difference.
Number 5 is different class and seat types. Let's take the Tokaido Shinkansen as an example, the line that connects Tokyo and Osaka, and the one most international travelers will use. On this line, there are two main types of cars: standard class and green car. Standard class uses a 3 seats plus 2 seats layout. Seats are labeled A to E, with A and E at the window sides, B and D at the aisle, and C in the middle. Green car is the premium option. It offers larger reclining seats, more space, and power outlets at every seat. It uses a 2 seats plus 2 seats layout, with A and D at the window, and B and C at the aisle. Green car is more expensive than standard class, usually by about 5,000 to 7,000 yen depending on the route and season. Next is seat reservation. Green car has only reserved seating, but standard class has both reserved and non-reserved seats. Non-reserved cars are assigned specific car numbers. On the Nozomi service, for example, non-reserved seats are usually in cars 1 and 2. You can sit in any available seat, but if it's full, you may need to stand. Reserved seats guarantee your seat in advance, but cost about 500 to 1,000 yen more than non-reserved tickets. I usually choose reserved standard class, but it really depends on your travel style. Also, as mentioned in a previous video, JR Central has announced private rooms will be introduced on the Tokaido Shinkansen around 2026.
If you haven't seen it yet, please check it out.
Number 6 is how to see Mount Fuji. If you're traveling on the Tokaido Shinkansen between Tokyo and Osaka, there's a special tip if you want to see Mount Fuji. In standard class, choose an E seat by the window. In green car, choose a D seat by the window. This works in both directions, whether you're going from Tokyo to Osaka or back the other way. A good viewing chance is about 45 minutes after leaving Tokyo, or about 1 hour and 45 minutes after leaving Shin Osaka. However, there are some important limitations. If it's raining, or if clouds cover the mountain, you may not see it at all. Even on clear days, visibility is not guaranteed. On average, the chance of seeing a clear view of Mount Fuji is said to be around 30%, depending on the season.
So if you see it, consider yourself lucky and don't rely too much on it.
If you would like a personal guide in Japan or need recommendations for travel plans and cultural experiences,
Please contact me from the link in the description section.
Number 7 is fast versus slow Shinkansen. On the Tokaido and Sanyo Shinkansen lines, which connect Tokyo, Osaka, Hiroshima, and all the way to Fukuoka, there are 3 main types of trains you need to know. First is the Nozomi. This is the fastest option, with the fewest stops. It runs at speeds up to about 285 kilometers per hour, and takes roughly 2.5 hours from Tokyo to Shin Osaka. If you're traveling between major cities like Tokyo, Kyoto, or Osaka, this is usually the best choice. However, not all Nozomi trains go all the way to Hakata in Fukuoka, so always check the stops carefully. Second is the Kodama. This is a local service that stops at every station. Because of this, it takes much longer, around 4 hours between Tokyo and Shin Osaka. It's often used by travelers who enjoy a slower journey or have more time and want a relaxed train experience. Third is the Hikari. This is the middle option. It stops at more stations than Nozomi, but fewer than Kodama. The exact stops can vary by train, but you can think of it as the in-between service. Always check travel time and stops before choosing your train.
Pick the right Shinkansen for your trip.
Number 8 is what if I miss my train? Japan's Shinkansen is very punctual, and trains almost always depart exactly on time. So what happens if you miss your train? This is one of the most common questions I get from travelers. The good news is, you don't need to panic. If you miss your reserved Shinkansen on the same day, you can usually take a later train in the standard non-reserved cars. No extra ticket purchase is required, and you can simply go through the ticket gates with your original ticket.
This gives you flexibility and peace of mind, especially when traveling in busy situations or unfamiliar environments.
Number 9 is reserved-only Shinkansen. During peak travel seasons in Japan, Shinkansen rules change in an important way that every traveler should know. These busy periods include Golden Week in May, the summer holidays in August, and the New Year season from late December to early January. On major routes like the Tokaido and Sanyo Shinkansen, which connect Tokyo, Kyoto, Osaka, Hiroshima, and Fukuoka, the Nozomi trains become fully reserved seats only. This means there are no non-reserved cars available during these times. In the past, even if all seats were full, passengers could still stand in non-reserved cars, but that option is no longer allowed during these peak periods. So if you don't have a reservation, you may not be able to board your preferred train at all. This policy mainly affects Japan's most popular travel routes, and it is part of efforts to manage overcrowding during peak tourism seasons.
If you are planning to travel during these times, book early is essential.
Number 10 is how to buy Shinkansen tickets. There are two main ways to buy Shinkansen tickets in Japan. The first is online, but the system depends on the route you're traveling. For the Tokaido and Sanyo Shinkansen, which connect Tokyo, Kyoto, Osaka, Hiroshima, and Fukuoka, you can use a service called Smart EX. It has a mobile app and is very convenient. You can choose paper tickets, QR code tickets, or even link your ticket to IC cards like Suica or Mobile Suica. For routes between Tokyo and northern areas like Tohoku and Hokkaido, you should use a different service called Ekinet. The second option is buying tickets at the station. You can purchase them at ticket counters or automated machines at major stations. However, ticket counters are often very busy, and you may have to wait around 30 minutes or more, especially during peak travel times. So it's better to arrive early or book in advance whenever possible.
How was today's video? Don't forget to subscribe to my channel and like button. See you in my next video. Bye!